right, so Uriah Hall's going to fight against Costa. I got two experiences on the Ultimate Fighter, both as coaches. I coached Uriah Hall, and I coached against, in my other experience, I coached against Costa. And both great guys, both great talents. There seems to be a belief that Uriah Hall's mind can get in his own way, and I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. I don't know that that's a fair assessment. And I heard Costa come out and say, "Hey, I can get in this guy's head and I could break him." I'll just offer you this: as fighters, any fighter you want to go to, and just ask them, "Hey, do you prefer to be the favorite or do you prefer to be the underdog?" Every fighter can answer that question. Every fighter can say, look, when I'm the favorite and people believe in me, that really, lights a fire under me, and I really appreciate that support and I compete better. Or they go, hey, look, I don't want anything to do with the pressure. Give that to someone else. Let everybody think I'm going to get whipped, so whatever good happens out there is all a positive, and I prefer that approach. But every fighter can answer that question. I will just answer it for Uriah Hall. He prefers to be the underdog. And anytime his back is against the wall, he comes out firing. And it really makes him perform better, and it does put him in a better frame of mind mentally. So I don't know that I've ever agreed that he has mental blocks at times, but I'll speak to the other side of the coin, which is I will tell you what makes his mind work well, and that is when people are telling him he's going to get whipped. It is when people remove that pressure from him. He got thrown into such a spotlight coming through the Ultimate Fighter. I can remember Dana White saying, just watching him in the house of the Ultimate Fighter, before he even got the contract and broke into the UFC, going, what am I going to do with this guy? Put him right into Anderson Silva. Anderson was the champion at the time. Bring him right into a world title fight. And the mere fact that was Dana's opinion of him, some of this caught Uriah Hall by surprise, where he's looking around and going, hey, I'm just a hardworking athlete that came from Jamaica and moved to New York and found a martial arts gym, and here I am. It kind of caught him by surprise. And I've just seen, Gegard Mousasi fight comes to mind, but I've just seen when Uriah gets thrown in there and the odds are against him, that's when he gets to go out and really perform. That's when he really gets to relax and perform. And, when his body and movements can just flow, oh my goodness, he's really something special. He's a scary talent. I think the same can be said for Costa. I think he's a straightforward brawler with heavy hands and in a good mindset. I'll tell you, when I watched him on The Ultimate Fighter, he got defeated, and he was in the gym at practice the very next day. Had a great attitude. He worked super hard, and we had a good dialogue. Even though I was the opposing coach, once he was eliminated, he was able to come over and say, "Hey, I wanted to ask you this, and I wanted to ask you that," and everybody got along with him. But he was really open for knowledge. He was a really good sponge. One of the things that he did early in his career, and I think one of the reasons he didn't win the Ultimate Fighter, was he would come out and he would put his foot down on the gas instantly. He would just empty the tank, and he was so great to watch. I'd watch him work out on the mitts, and boom, 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 boom. I mean, you could hear it was like shotguns going off, boom, boom. He'd hit those pads so hard, and then all of a sudden he was done. And the coach would be going, no, come on, we've got a couple minutes left. At that point in his career, he didn't know how to reserve a little bit of energy, reserve and preserve and strategize. It appears in his professional career, and particularly here in the UFC, it appears that that's something that he really has learned. He's learned how to extend. He picks those shots a little bit. He's learned a little bit where to rest. And so I think he's really become a good talent, but that he is the kind of guy, and particularly with the hype coming around him, he's the kind of guy that Uriah Hall steps up to the occasion. I think that's one of the greatest fights on the card. I think that's the fight to watch. I just want to bring it to your attention now. I really think you will see Uriah Hall at his absolute best.